That we don't actually feel that Juventus have done anything particularly special to get to this stage in the game. All right, the Del Piero goal was excellent, but the two goals were very soft goals, the initial two.
Yes.
And that set the tone for the whole game, and you know, it's a game of catch-up now.
I mean, what will Walter be saying apart from taxi to the airport? I mean, you know, it is a disaster.
Well, they just really got to keep their heads and defend as well as they possibly can, because we know we're going to get under a lot of pressure, and they're going to have a lot of the possession.
I mean, what's it like, Trevor, you know, in a European tie like that, not that you've probably known it, but 3-0 down in such a huge arena?
Yeah, I remember playing at Red Star Belgrade when we were 3-0 down, and they just toyed with us, and we couldn't get the ball from them at all. They've got the makings of that, and just hopefully we might just be able to sneak a goal and make them think again, and take it from there.
The confidence is sky high now, Jim. So much so that they'll maybe try things now. You'll see some imagination there, I'm sure, for Del Piero, the dummies, the Ravanelli. So when you can see some fireworks. But if I can take you back to a game, we played at Anfield when I was at Aberdeen a few years back. Lost the first leg at Pittodrie 1-0, 2-0 down at half-time at Anfield, 3-0 in aggregate. And Drew Jarvie, God bless him, Drew said at half-time, 3 quick goals and we're back in it. That was at Anfield. So if we
that certainly applies tonight, Ali. OK. Well, can Rangers get 3 quick goals and get back in it, or will Juventus pile on the agony? Let's go back over live to Turin and see the second half. Juventus-Rangers, there's 3 up on them. Commentator Jerry.
Welcome back, everyone. And as the teams come back onto the field, there's Del Piero. John Brown has come out for Rangers for this second half. No doubt Walter Smith will be hoping that his experience can stem the tide. But there's absolutely no doubt that we are watching one of the world's great quality sides tonight, a club with a great history. And in fact, in UEFA's all-time European club table, Juventus hold third place behind Real Madrid and Barcelona. And from a Scottish point of view, Rangers are 13th and Celtic 16th. So it's still 0-0 in the other game in Dortmund as the second half gets underway. You see there that Stephen Wright is the player who's gone off. And John Brown, who played such a major part in Rangers' last run in the Champions League, has come into the fray. But rockets and fireworks and flares being lit all round at the Stadio delle Alpi. The Juventus fans
behind there, so
this is Conte. And John Brown making his presence felt as he went in there to challenge Sousa. Quickly closed down now. That was very much a feature of the first half. It was Ferrara who did it. That was him laying off the ball. It's Delivio. Came to Ravanelli. And Goff doing a bit of holding there. Good shot. Still it's Ravanelli. Again, Rangers in difficulty here. Again it's Del Piero. And trying to drag that ball onto his right foot. At far side of the penalty area. Rangers already know the consequences of that, and that's a dreadful pass out of defence by Craig Moore. Ravanelli tumbles, and that shot takes a deflection. Antonio Conte it was who struck it. So the smoke from the flares filling the Stadio delle Alpi. The offside flag is up there as Salenko breaks through.
Well, Rangers have started positive enough, just in their formation here. I mean, they've pushed Gordon Jury further up the park to try and help Ali McCoy and Salenko. I just go back to the ball that was played by the boy earlier out in defence. That ball, it can't be lost there. When Rangers regain possession, they must make the best they can with it. They can't give silly possession away.
But, once again, Rangers using the 3 central defenders at the start of the match, and now having to move to a more traditional back 4. And one wonders if Scottish teams can really system so much favoured by so many on the continent. But it's a matter now of Rangers getting on with things as best they can, and John Brown is certainly a player of great spirit. And one has to hope that he can fire them up sufficiently that they can get something back. There's Petrick striking that one, but he didn't get the kind of break that Ravanelli got in the first half when the ball cannoned off Craig Moore beyond Andy Gorham. There's no doubt that Gorham's heroics in that first half kept the score down. It could easily have been 5 or 6. Sir Roberts with a long throw. The goalkeeper came towards it. This is Solenko now trying the effort. In comes John Brown. Brown at least making his presence felt within the penalty area. And Solenko has been caught by the offside flag. Ali McCoy had pushed through as well.
It was showing there just by a simple throw in how much confusion. You know, just playing in, let's call it the British way, where you got a throw in, a corner kick or a free kick, using the advantage that Rangers and none of the British teams have. What can result from it there? You know, you get an opportunity, even from a simple throw in, and Rangers have really got to try and capitalise on that. Especially every corner kick they get, not to give it away lightly, to use as best they possibly can.
Meanwhile, the free kick is awarded to Juventus. Deschamps was taken out of the play.
The referee is implementing the law to the letter, really. Every time there is a tackle from behind or even to the side that looks dubious, he's given the decision, and that is consistent in both ways.
So Rangers players just a touch frustrated when that initial free kick was given. Now it's Juventus on the far outside of the Rangers penalty area. Again, it's within the range of these players. So that's 50 minutes gone. Juventus continue to lead by 3 goals to 0, and who knows what might come from this now. It's Ravanelli who strikes that one. A chance for Rangers to break out. So Robertson playing it through to McCoist. And again, you can see he's surrounded by Juventus players, and the breaks on here for Delivio, who's onside. Ravanelli's in the middle. Fuente's arriving as well. Ravanelli peels off to the far post and forces the ball behind, but the flag had been up, the ball had in fact drifted out, and it's a goal kick.
Even here, Jerry, although the ball is lacking quality, Ravanelli has actually come to the near post and then brought the Rangers defender with him, and then just peeled out to get the header, which he's expected to come to the back post. Another simple thing, but it creates an opportunity for himself. Unfortunately, the quality of the ball wasn't sufficient to meet the run that he made.
It was a similar move to the one that, which brought him his goal against Steaua Bucharest, where Vialli had provided the cross for him. This is Craig Moore. It's McCall. Moore again. And Rangers being forced to backtrack. Petrick is calling for the ball, but it's played to Gorham. Again, when Rangers get possession, they find themselves very quickly closed down. This is McCoist. Berlin tries to get forward. Loses out to Torricelli. And he tumbles, and the free kick is awarded for Torricelli. He certainly enjoyed pushing out of defence all evening from the very early stages of the game. Caught there by Richard Goff. So, Del Piero. Again, hovering over the ball. The referee wants them to get on with it. calling back the Rangers defensive wall. Juventus certainly taking their time about things. Looks like Goff heading it away, not convincingly. Deschamps returns it. It's cleared by Craig Moore. This is Petric. Chelsea sets it through. Piero wins beautifully there with Del Piero with Cleland. Brilliant turn by him, leaving the Rangers player completely. And striking that one with the outside of his foot. And just marvellous skills there by Alessandro Del Piero. Taking on the defender, leaving him for dead, and then hitting a terrific ball across the face of the goal.
Well, that was sheer quality. The only thing that didn't match was the final ball.
Yeah, I did say terrific ball there. It was rather callous. He'd done the difficult part brilliantly and struck the ball with the outside of his foot. The Juventus fans unhappy as their prize asset has got crashing to the ground. And the referee, well, he's shown a red card. It's Alec Cleland. Well, a night of disaster for Rangers. Gordon Jury, booked earlier, is out of the return tie in a fortnight's time against Juventus. So too is Alec Cleland. Alan McLaren is already suspended. So Rangers' night of woe continues. Rangers reduced now to 10 men. Rash challenge going in from Alec Cleland on Del Piero, who just a moment or two earlier had turned brilliantly against him. He took him on again, and it was just too much for the former Dundee United player. The red card was shown immediately. And Rangers can only hope now that they can keep this down to a reasonable scoreline. They're trailing by 3-0. Ravanelli, Conte and Del Piero, all in the first half. So 55 minutes gone, still a long way to go in this night of torture for Rangers and their supporters. Ravanelli tries to turn, Jury's back defending. Solenko trying to get forward. John Brown runs in support. Brown hits the early cross. It's watched carefully by Angelo Peruzzi. He's had very little to do all evening. He wastes no time. Sparini takes the return from Deschamps. It's Deschamps again. Ravanelli trying to force his way through. He does well under pressure. Del Piero hits another one. Delivio tries to lay it off, but fortunately for Rangers it falls into the path of Richard Goff. He picks out Solenko. Jury is in support. This is Gordon Jury. Again, there are 4 defenders back. McCoy's very much in his own in the middle. Laid off by Solenko. Petric moves through. It's Petric looking around for some options. He plays it to McCall. This is Solenko. He's challenged by Ferrara. That's a free kick to Rangers just outside the penalty area. So perhaps a chance for them here. Ciro Ferrara giving that one away. Marcello Lippi sends out his substitutes to warm up. That's Pissotto, Gianluca Pissotto, as a left-sided defender. So John Brown stands over the ball. Petric has pushed well forward. Goff's just outside the area. It's John Brown who strikes. It's deflected, and that's a corner kick to Rangers. So John Brown instilling a bit of spirit. This is coming on in this second half. And Goff comes forward, but that's Conte who get out of the way. It's driven in by John Brown. Breaks away to Jury. It's laid off to Stuart McCall. Goff's forward again. It's easily taken in the end by Peruzzi. Again, wastes no time, he sends it out to Del Piero. Lovely touch by him to Deschamps. Delivio is racing through on the right-hand side, it's played through towards Del Piero. He's cut out there by Petric. Now it's McCall. This is Jury. McCoist. Jury again. He's nowhere to go except backwards, but he does get the free kick. So Gordon Jury challenged by Deschamps. Juventus have it again. Souza, Deschamps, Del Piero's away to the left again. He's cutting inside. Benelli, Deschamps, Souza, Delivio calls for it. Here he is. Good running now on the right-hand side by Torricelli. He delivers across. It's headed away by Goff. Back to Torricelli. And it's a free kick to Juventus. David Robertson, the offender. So again, the set piece in that area which could damage Rangers. And Robertson charging into that one.
Leading up to the free kick there, Jerry, I mean, what can happen when you're down to 10 men there and the opposition get a grip of the ball and pass and take it from one side to the other? I think Juventus demonstrated that.
Delivio over the ball, and the flag goes up. So Rangers have possession again, and a moment which could have caused them further problems has passed, but still they trail by 3-0. This is Petric. To find a way through. Stuart McCall. Cross now to Brown. Robertson starts a run. Brown tries to thread the ball through to him, but here comes Juventus again. It's laid off by Delivio. This is Moreno Torricelli. Back to Delivio, who's kept that run going splendidly. And Stuart McCall covered a fair bit of ground to get that ball back to his goalkeeper. Again, Juventus looking confident in defence. It's the word, playing it through. Here he is again. It's Ferrara, Torricelli, Conte, Benelli. Deschamps starts a run on the left-hand side. Great running by the Frenchman. Flipping the ball in. It's taken though by Gordon Petric. Brilliant running that by Deschamps. Here come Rangers now through McCall. This is Brown. Playing it through, looking for the pace of Robertson. Controls the difficult ball well. Through now for Solenko. And again, Juventus have plenty of cover.
This is where the danger is when the Rangers have forced themselves onto the attack. They could be caught on the break. It's hard enough when there's 11 of them. You're a man down and you're trying to retrieve something from the game, and you're pushing forward. Juventus have also got that extra player, but also that extra bit of confidence. And Rangers will need to be very careful they don't get caught on the break.
Well, Solenko did well there to keep possession. Now it's McCall. Brown runs in support. McCoist is darting about in the middle, trying to find some space, but finding that almost impossible. Brown who lofts it in, but way beyond everyone. Jury comes running in at the far side, but Forini was there. However, the decision goes Rangers' way. And the referee is having a word with Sergio Forini. Tell him to calm down. Meanwhile, it's Craig Moore to Gordon Jury. Rangers have plenty of players forward, but it's Ferrara who clears. This is McCall, but nothing in that one to worry Angelo Peruzzi. Stuart McCall is toiling a bit there, as you can see. And meanwhile, Peruzzi retrieves the ball. now in the very much the international scene as Angelo Peruzzi. Signed from Roma back in 1991. But, had to serve a one-year ban when at Roma for failing a dope test. He was taking slimming tablets, would you believe? With a nickname like Tyson. Here come Juve again. It's Souza. It's just out of play now, and Craig Moore quickly gets on with things, takes the throw. So Richard Goff who stabs it forward. Now it's Jury. To Brown. There's Delibio. Salenko challenges. It's Torricelli, and he's given his goalkeeper something to do there. And John Brown tries the first time from there with the goalkeeper out of his goal, but handball against Ali McCoist as he tried to control that one. Well, certainly Torricelli put his goalkeeper under unnecessary pressure, and he gave the ball away towards John Brown, but Ali McCoist, you can see, clearly handled. So a change being made now. Delibio is going off, and Giancarlo Marocchi is coming on. So Delibio's done a lot of good running. He's certainly earned his salary tonight. So it's Marocchi, who's a midfielder. He was in the Italian squad for the 1990 World Cup. In fact, he made his international debut against Scotland in Perugia when they met Italy in 1988. McCoy's trying to play that one through, but again, defenders all around Gordon Jury. So that's 65 minutes gone. Juventus continue to lead by 3 goals to 0. Director Walter Smith below will be hoping that things are still the same in Dortmund. The last we heard there, it was Dortmund 0, Steyr 0. And certainly be of some comfort to Rangers. It stayed that way. But the offside flag is up against Ravanelli.
I think they knew before the game that this was going to be the most difficult fixture the Rangers would have to face. They were hoping they would get something from it, but as it stands at this moment in time, yeah, you have got to look at what's going on elsewhere. But Rangers have still got games where they can get the points and add up to what may be required to qualify for the later stages. And what goes on elsewhere is important. At Dortmund, still another game to be played against the Germans. So not all is not lost. This particular game, if Juventus don't get slack, and I think in the last 5 minutes they have been slack, maybe just end up the way that a lot of people would have thought they would have done. But there's a long way to go in this tournament yet.
So Dortmund, we've just heard they're 1-up. Dortmund 1, Steyr 0. This is Rangers trying to claw something back though. And of course it's a very complicated procedure at the end of the groupings where goal difference can come into play. So anything Rangers can get back here tonight, or if you can keep it what it's at the moment, that could prove important in the longer term. With Blackburn are trailing also. So it's been an inglorious Champions League for them. They're facing their third straight defeat. Marcello Lippi will be a happy man. He read the riot act after the weekend match, and he had the courage to leave out the likes of Takanardi, who's the international sweeper. He's obviously fired up his men. It was the great spirit of the Juventus side which carried them to the championship last season. The first in 9 years, their 23rd overall. There was a great spirit about them, very much embodied in Vialli. You just wonder what might have happened had he been on the field tonight. It's been a black enough night for Rangers, losing 3 goals and also losing Alec Cleland, who was red-carded in the second half, and Gordon Jury misses the game. Taking the throw in, he misses the game in a fortnight's time after a second booking.
talk about the last time, Jerry, that Juventus won the championship, and they had a great team then, and it is a similar situation. In that particular time, Juventus supplied 5 or 6 players for the national team, and maybe it's not a coincidence, but in the last one of the 2 games that they played against Croatia and Slavonia, that Juventus supplied 6 more players for that game as well. So they are a team that has emerged from that 9 years, and for a club of this magnitude to go that length of time without winning the championship was a terrible thing. But they seem to have built themselves a formidable team, not only in their own domestic league, but as we can see here tonight, in Europe as well.
So it's Gordon Jury trying to get forward, and that ball was deflected for the corner kick. The Rangers are waiting to make a change, and it's Neil Murray who's about to come on. The linesman is signalling to the referee that Rangers want to make the change. It's Stuart McCall, who certainly looked to be in a bit of trouble a short time ago. He was struggling. So off goes McCall, on comes Neil Murray, and Neil Murray is a player who broke into the Rangers' first team during the last Champions League run. So he comes into the fray now. And that's the header going in from Petric, and flying past the far post of Peruzzi. Gordon Petric always carries a threat at set pieces. They come in to attack this ball well. Robertson. So headed away there by Björkvot. And Salenko is happy to accept the throw-in. That's 70 minutes gone here at the Stadio delle Alpi. Still 3-0 to Juventus. This is John Brown flipping it through, looking for Robertson. The header from him. Picked up now by Torricelli. Through for Ravanelli. And he gets away from Petric. Goff comes across to try and provide cover. And Goff does just enough. And Petric was completely beaten there by Ravanelli. This is Goff. Gorham certainly had a quieter time in this second half, but as Joe said earlier, the more Rangers push forward, the more likely they are to be caught on the break. But they've got to try and claw something back here. It's laid off by Conte. It's Torricelli. It's a free kick. The substitute foul there. Marocchi. Juventus again. It's Deschamps. Sousa. Laid off there by Conte. It's Deschamps. Putting it through now, looking for Ravanelli. Petric is with him. That ball's out of play. And that's a goal kick. Ravanelli pleads his case, but not too strongly. He'll be a happy enough man. He scored the opening goal after 15 minutes of the match. This is Brown. Jury, who's drifted into the middle. That's given away to Marocchi. There's a break on here. Ravanelli. Goff comes across to provide the cover. And it's a free kick to Rangers.